Welcome back to another Pokemon Market Monday, home of the OG weekly market updates, where every Monday morning we go through last week's sales of sealed Pokemon products and Pokemon cards that are currently going up in price. And we do also cover the big Pokemon news, a card that's set to get revealed. And we do have to do the question of the day. What Umbreon do you guys like better, the VMAX or the EX from Prismatic Evolutions? And we do have to give a quick thanks to our video sponsor real quick, and that is Arizona TCG. If you guys got a bunch of graded cards you're looking to sell but do not want to deal with a bunch of people lowballing you constantly, Arizona TCG is perfect. You just send them all your graded cards. They're going to take professional scans, and they're going to post it to their massive weekly eBay auctions. They even lowered their prices to match what they were doing during the holidays. So definitely check them out. I'll have all the links in the description. And of course, you guys want to try out PSA for your first time, click the link, use the code BEARD25 to get $25 off your first submission. And also, if you guys want to try out Tag for your first time, click the link, use the code BEARD10 to get 10% off your first submission. And I do have to announce the winner for the Perfect Order Pokemon Center ETB with the collab giveaway that I did with PokeCon Las Vegas, which is a show I'm going to be at this weekend, May 30th to the 31st. With Chum-Li. It's going to be an insane time, so definitely check it out. I'm bringing all my life-size statues. But the winner for the Perfect Order Pokemon Center ETB is Yogi Bear 1961. Shoot me an email or hit me up on Instagram. I'll get that box sent out to you. But all right, let's get into it. We have celebrations. Honestly, not a ton of movement for celebrations. ETB market price $387, Pokemon Center ETB market price $551. The other stuff is up a couple dollars, like the Celebrations Pikachu V Union box. Market price is now $210. I still feel like that's such a slept-on box. And we got the Celebrations UPC market price $1,250. Next, we have Evolving Skies. Again, not a ton of movement. Pokemon Center ETB is up a little bit. We got sales now right at $1,000. We've got one at $1,100. Another one at $1,100 and $1,200. We've got one at $1,350. We also have a ton of them at $900 and $950. And regular ETB market price still $580 for the Umbreon and $540 for the Espeon. In the booster box, we got sales at $2,500 and $2,600. Next, Crown Zenith. Again, not a ton of movement. I mean, these sets have just been going so crazy nonstop. They can't go up every single week forever. Regular Crown Zenith ETB market price $328. And the Pokemon Center ETB $575. Booster bundle $193. And the Galarian Moltres tin, market price $135. Next, we have 151, booster bundle market price $196. Again, not a ton of movement for this set either. Blooming Waters Premium Collection, market price $344, technically down a couple dollars. The 151 Binder Collection now is market price $238. Regular ETB still $670. The UPC still $1,250. And the Pokemon Center ETB market price is about $1,350, technically down a little bit also. Next, we have Prismatic Evolutions. The regular ETB market price $162, the SPC market price $290. Remember, might not be a bad time to pick some of this stuff up. Whenever we get a dip, we really got to take advantage of it, especially in this market. And the Pokemon Center ETB still technically coming down in price at $514. Next, Destined Rivals. Booster boxes on the move again. Last sold for this one, $630, $625, $651, and $645. And the regular ETB market price $199, bouncing back a little bit. Yeah, most of the sales are still at $199, a couple at $185, and a couple over $200. And the Pokemon Center ETB starting to really level out. All last sold right around $550 to $560. And we have Ascended Heroes, not a ton of movement for this set either. Market price for the regular ETB $185. And Pokemon Center ETB market price $518, which is about what it was last week. All right, next we have Silver Tempest Booster Box. This is at $456, now last sold $549, $550, $510, $515. Next, we have the Perfect Order Booster Box. Was at $201, now last sold $230, $225, $229, and $220. Next, Paldea Evolved, making another run. Was at $350, now last sold $514, $503, $499. Next, Journey Together. This is just a regular booster box. Was at $250, now last sold $320, $299. One high one at $365. Next, Twilight Masquerade booster box. Was at $318, now last sold $398, $375, $360. And Stellar Crown. Was at $287. We got sales now at $369, $350, $349. That's crazy, actually, being the same price as Twilight Masquerade. All right, next we have the Greninja UPC. This is at $360. Now that's sold $504, $489, $510. And the Team Rockets Moltres UPC was at $229. Now that's sold $358, $349. I have a feeling this UPC will be $500 very soon. Also GameStop exclusive, and it's way better than the Greninja UPC. All right, next we have the Charizard UPC from Sword and Shield. Was at $480. We got sales now $575, $599, and $580. Next, we got some cards. We got the Pidgey illustration rare from Obsidian. Was at $10. Now last sold $17, $19, $20, and one high one at $43 and $38. Next, we have the Yveltal from Paradox Rift. Was a $16 card. Now last sold $27, $32, $29. I was always obsessed with this card. The colors, the Pokemon, it's just perfect. Next, the Articuno from Journey Together was at $16. Now last sold $37, $28, $25, and $29. Next, the Virizion. This was at $22. Now last sold $34, $31, and $30. Next, the Apom was at $11. Now we got sales $43, $29, $31. Literally every illustration is going up in price. It's just insane. Next, we have the Latios from Surging Sparks. Was at $25. Now that sold $33, $34, and $37. And we have the Steelix from Paradox Rift. Was at $27. Now that sold $40, $33, $44, and $45. And the Chansey from Twilight Masquerade was a $30 card. Now we got sales $60, $61. Pretty much all right at $60 with one high one at $69. Next, the Oshawott from White Flare was a $42 card. Now that sold $59, $76, and $80. Next, the Tyranitar from Paldea Evolved was at $60. Now that sold $80, $95, $89. One high one at $150. Next, the Pikachu from 151 dropped down to $80, but now last sold $99, $83, $95. A couple more at $94 and $90. Next, the Groudon from Paradox Rift was at $75. Now last sold $100, $110, $140, $139, $125. Next, the Iron Crown SIR was at $35. Now last sold $53, $52, $50, and $48. Next, the Chi-Yu from Paldea Evolved was at $35. Now we got sales at $45, $49, and $53. Next, the Altaria, beautiful card, was at $42. Now last sold $58, $57, and $60. Next, the Walking Wake. Someone just recently made a bunch of videos about a lot of these Temporal Forces cards, and it got a ton of views, so that's why they're going up in price. This is at $37. Now that sold $65, $75, and we got one low one at $42, but most of them are right around $65 to $70. Next, the Hydreigon was at $69. Now that sold $84, $80, $79. Next, the Team Rocket's Nidoking from Destin was at $90. We got sales now at $136, $135, $123. And then the day before that was all at about $100 to $110. Next is Cynthia's Garchomp from Destin Rivals was at $195. Now last sold $311, $333, $270, $264, $287. Literally called this when this card was like $220, that it should be over $300. And the 151 Charizard is on the move. Someone actually donated this Charizard card to me at the show that I'm at right now in Columbus, Ohio. That's why I'm not at home. To give away to a kid. Super clean, minty card. Nicest guy I've literally ever met. I was like shaking giving this card to a little kid. Because then too, you want to make sure you give it to, a good kid who's actually going to deserve it. And, the parent's not just going to take it. But they were super excited. You'll be seeing that video probably in like a month. I'm kind of behind. But the Zard was at $485, dropped down to $400, and now last sold $423, $558, $549, $540. Tons of sales in the 500s, $520, $515, $500. So just that new one at $423 and $420 are the lowest. Next, the Bubble Mew on a run again was at $815. Now last sold $997, $999, $875, $880. Next, the Pikachu in the Forest. This is at about $1,200, dropped down to about $1,000, and now went crazy again. Last sold $1,500, $1,399, $1,550, $1,200. It's kind of all over the place. Next, we have the Paldean Fates Baby Shiny. Was at $80, now last sold right around $90. Next, the Gold Pikachu EX from Surging Sparks was at $61. Now last sold 86, 89, 85, and one super high one at 137. Next, we have the other gold Pikachu, same art, but from Prismatic Evolutions. This was at 47. Now last sold 74, 46, 66. You would think this one would actually be a lot harder to pull than the 13 Sparks one. Next, the black Zekrom full art was at 350. Now last sold 585, 490, and 525. And here's the white Reshiram full art. Was at 350. Now last sold 499, 428, and 440. Next, we got some trainer gallery cards. The Rayquaza VMAX market price 200. The Pikachu V market price 127. Starmie's at 115. Umbreon's at 112. Pikachu VMAX at 105. Mimikyu 87. Sylveon 82. Even the Gengar non-textured is at 60. So all these cards are up a few dollars. And here is the Crown Zenith cards. Look at Giratina V-Star. Just past Mewtwo. Market price 317. We gotta check this out, see if there's anything else just super crazy. We got a new sale at 379, 355, 385. I did just say in one of my last What If Wednesdays, I could see these cards being in the 300s. So that is crazy to see. What else do we have? I hate when I go back, it changes. Mewtwo is still right around 295. Now look at the Arceus, market price 198. And of course, Dialga and Palkia still not getting enough love. Market price for Dialga was 128 and 115 for Palkia. Darkrai still at 105. Everything else looks to be about the same as it was last week. Next, we got a few alternate arts. We have the Rayquaza V from Evolving Skies. We're getting a Rayquaza set, so all these cards are going to go crazy. It was at 280. Now last sold 445, 375, 464, and 444. Next, we have the Rayquaza VMAX. Was at 657. Now last sold all right around $1,200. Wow. Next, the Umbreon VMAX was at 1675. Now last sold, we got 2500, 2800, 28, and then it drops back down to 1950 and 2250. So those last few sales are going crazy. Got some promos to end it off. We have the Greninja EX SIR was at 69. Now last sold 115, 112, 120. And the Pikachu V Celebrations UPC Gold promo was at 75. Now last sold 127, 120, 114. And the Eevee Pokemon Center getting a little love. Last sold for this one now 105, 100. Next, the Kingdra, I don't know why I wouldn't have put this with the Greninja, was at 64. Now last sold 105, 93, and 100. One high one at 115. Next, our brand new Fennekin Pokemon Center promo. Last sold 52, 55, 50. Honestly, not a bad price for this card. I could easily see this card being an $80, $90 card. And the regular promo is right around 10 bucks. And here are the most popular cards from Chaos Rising. None of them are going in price, so definitely check out my upcoming Falling Friday to get all the prices. Here's the Frogadier, was at 38. Now last sold 19 and 20. Next, here's the Froakie, was at 54. Now last sold 24, 23, and 27. And we have the gold Mega Greninja. Last sold for this one, 332, 330, 325. And last on the list, we have the Mega Greninja SIR. Was at 590. Now last sold 450, 449. Pretty much all at 450. I can't see this card being more than the Greninja from Twilight Masquerade. But with this market, honestly, you never know. But alright, that was this week's Pokemon Market Monday. If you guys like this content, want to stay ahead of the market, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a like and comment. And then, of course, you guys can support more. Check out my Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube membership, all that. You guys know what to do. You guys are the absolute best. But alright, I want you guys to have a great day. If you guys want to watch my last Vending video, you can click this one above. Otherwise, if you guys want to check out all my other Vending videos, I have an entire playlist, so check that out. Alright, we'll see you next time.